And as opposed to brushing stuff on our little friend that's completely done and only maybe needs something. Actually, hang on, we might as well make a full-size hat. Try it on the plain full-size hat. And then if it works, we'll add it to a gnome. A gnome was outside, the carrot would be natural. Like one of those nasty city gnomes. Oh no. He's a green, it looks, I think that's more like a countryside gnome. Not like farm. Like countryside. Open field, grazing animals, little basically a soup garden outside the house. Okay. Alright. So let's make another gnome hat. I wish there were a little holder, sort of like a bit holder. But it looks like the ground. You can place the gnome upside down and pull it out of the dirt. Oh! Dirtywoods says it would need little feet. Yes, it would. Like little feet. Little gnome, like bare gnome feet. Dirtywood would hate that. Like, seriously, that would be so stinking cute. See, now I'm just thinking, how could we do that? I also just like the idea of a gnome that lives upside down in a little holder. Because I don't know, I just see it in my mind. And so I can imagine like a little terracotta pot. Like, just have a little terracotta pot and then have, what I would do is cut foam to go inside of it, inside of the terracotta thing, and then you make an X in the top of the foam, and you leave some area around it. You make an X in the top of the foam, cover the whole thing in like fake dirt and moss, and then you'd stick the gnome into the pot, so only the green part and its little feet were sticking out. And then the carrot part would be inside the flower pot in the little X we would cut in the foam. It would go boop. And I'm talking soft foam, not like styrofoam, but, you know? And then just have the top covered so it looked like dirt. And then just the little, like, body and feet and beard would be sticking out. I don't think we have a miniature terracotta pot. I think we have terracotta colored clay. And see, I am in charge of logistics. Like, seriously, like, my work and my, like, I am the logistics person. People are like, where's the chairs? Where's my this? Has anyone seen that? I'm like, the hot water kettle is already downstairs. There's cups in the cupboard marked cups. I put this out for you. I am an absolute, like, I am the logistics person. And not just because I like being right. It just happens to go well with my genuine enjoyment of being right. Okay, that one looks kind of funky chunks right there. Yeah, I don't like that. Luckily, it's polymer. So the funky up and down sideways looking line is just going to get gently encouraged to join its original group once again. And it does. And so we're just making the little carrot lines. And if we tried to plan these out, they would look terrible. Because we'd be worried about how many lines per inch or whatever. We'd be like, ah! And it would just never look natural, ever. What if we just kind of go, yeah, right. Alright. Look at that. Carrot-tastic. I'm the over-enthusiastic idea person who enters the room, not in how things will get done, but hype them up to figure it out. And see, I love idea people. Like, I love, because, like, seriously, being a logistics person, it's like when someone says, oh, like, see, I never thought about it like that. But, right, when we're doing the stream, and we'll be like, and now we're going to make a muffin. And then somebody's like, but what if we turned it into an inside-out pumpkin pie and then strapped it to your head? And I'm like, you guys want to do that instead? And people are like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm like, as long as I can figure out how to do it, I'm like, we'll see. Fuck, and even if we don't know how to do it, we'll just try it and see what happens. Throw it at the wall, see what sticks. I think it's partially because I just have no fear of possibly being wrong in a way. Or fucking something up. I'm like, what's the worst case scenario there? I'm mildly wrong? Yeah, I think I'll survive. It's not even wrong, it's just, you know? Okay. We need some chalk pastels. Ay, ay, ay. Ooh! Ooh, what's this? What's that came out of the oven? Hang on. Setting these down responsibly. And oh my god, much like real goldfish crackers, it has somehow gained dog hairs. That is way cuter than I thought it would be at the beginning of the, like, not at the beginning of the night, do you know what I mean? But I was prepared for the goldfish to look like bloop-tastic. Sam says, a tiny one should be a gnome snack. Steve says, oh, that turned out so good! Right? I am very pleased with that as a full-size goldfish cracker. It's not perfect, because this is the first one we've made. But, for being our first attempt at making a scale model of a goldfish cracker, what do we think? Ooh, let's measure it. Because, hang on, this is a 1-inch grid. Like a half inch, like from here to here is 1 inch. Ooh. Our giant bonkus appears to be at approximately 110% scale. Like, it's too long. So I was looking at it and seeing like it seemed like it looked a little too big, which is why I decided that we should measure it. But like, because each of these little boxes is 1/2 of an inch. I'm putting it somewhere where we can all, there we go, where we can see. So we put its little nose right at the 1 inch line. It's actually at approximately 120% of scale lengthwise, but doing pretty well height-wise. So we'll need to amend it. And Sam says, very good. And Sam says, for what it's worth, I would accidentally eat it. And see, looking at it in person, I'm like, okay, that is too big. But I think if we buy some goldfish crackers, that we could totally do it. And also, they do make jumbo goldfish crackers. I think. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. Like, it sounds familiar because it does look like a goldfish. It's just boop. Like enlarged to show texture. You see that on like a cereal box, and the flakes are like this big, like enlarged to show texture. Right? Oh, that is so cute. Okay, we're gonna set that right there. And Sam did say, the tiny one should be a gnome snack. So this is the tiny one. And like I said, it has the salt on it, aka the sand. Because, and it's not that I'm trying to push everything off of this. It's that when people use this or wear this, do you know what I mean? Like, I think we could totally, like, basically brush some of the extra sand off and then give it a clear coat. I think a matte clear coat as opposed to a shiny one. And then, wouldn't that be a cute little pin? That is just, to me, it's like a little, because they also make baby goldfish. That is just pleasing to me. The shape, the color, the little face. Oh, I think he ate us. But that, if we can size that down a little bit, I think our tail turned out pretty well. We spent the most time probably poking at the tail and trying to get those angles correct. And I think, yeah, I'm pleased with our results. I love it. All right. Little boobaloos go over there. And then, let's see. What color is dirt? Oh, there we go. Sometimes, as opposed to like finding a fancy solution to something, it's easier to grab a piece of tin foil because we don't want the... Actually, you know what? No, I want parchment for that because I want it to hold a crease. We don't want to get parchment or like truck pastel dust all over the rest of the nest. And we have a lot of little glass trays, but none of them are visible from where I'm sitting. So we're just going to take our little parchments. It just depends on the dirt. Lol. Right? So we want some... Because looking at our gnome so far, we've gone with really... I don't know if it's warm, but... Like... I don't know. But just... I'm not good at judging whether things are like warm colors or cool colors. But we just want a brown that goes with that. I'm thinking... Not like black, super rich compost. So not... I'm thinking we want it to look a little bit dusty and dry. Because it's not like the carrot just came out of the ground like 5 seconds ago. The carrot's, like, you know, the carrot's been existing for a while. Like, it's, like, also been, like, out living its gnome carrot life. And so... Yeah, I think a nice medium brown but not too rich. So this is clearly, if you look at my poor chalk pastels, and this is broken because these have taken a couple trips to the floor in their time. But this is my favorite brown, as you can tell. And I also have a set of chalk pastels that I've joined with. It says brownie gray. Gray, okay. There we go. Oh, there we go. And when we're doing this, we want the thinnest blade possible, because with chalk pastels, we're creating dust, and we want the finest dust that we can get for this, because we want little bitty pieces that are enthused to blend with other little pieces, not like giant chunks that are like, you know, standing out. We want this to be a very, you know, like we're counting on this mixture to make a new color, not, you know, a thing with visible chunks of whatever other color. And we're making a lot of this because we have 6 gnomes who need hat dust. And so it takes a little bit, because if we just like chopped up a piece and then smushed it, it'd be faster, but then it wouldn't be so powdery. Okay, just a little more. There we go. Cute already. I was just looking at the little gnome, not the pile of the chalk dust. Is really not that adorable. But brownie gray, I think that is a nice brownish gray. Like, it's brown, but it also really does look like gray. I think that really is. And so we're adding this gray tone to this, and like we were talking about, our goal is for it to look dry, not wet, fresh, you know, rich loam compost or something, but dry dirt. And see, I think if it was just that color, it would look too dry and sad. I think starting with a nice rich brown and then adding that is going to give it the mix that we need. So what are we going to do now? We're going to do very gently hold this and poke it about with the end of our clay knife. Which, after we do this with it, we need to remember to definitely, I was going to say, to wipe it on our dress. And like, I feel like Mr. Royblood is the person who does the laundry. It's like, but no, he doesn't care. But yeah, that is one of my worst habits. I don't want to say worst, but you know what I mean? It is a habit that is not becoming of adults, is to like wipe things on my dress or my hand. Like, I'm sure you guys have probably seen me, like, I'll be assembling something with glue and there's like a weird glob of glue and I scrape it off with a little tool and then I just put it on the back of my hand. And it's like, when I think about, like, if I saw someone doing that, I'd be like, really? You don't have a piece of paper? Not one piece of paper in your whole craft room. There's not a piece of paper you'd wipe that on? It's got to be... Alright, you do you. But because I do it, I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There we go. So, Mr. Rude said brownie gray. And since he said that, okay, Dirty Blood, it's that song. The same song. It's a December song. And I'll remember this when we are old and ancient. Though the specifics might be vague, I'll say your camisole is a sprightly light magenta when in fact it was a nappy bluish gray. It was a dull and browny red. Oh, what is it? Breaking Decemberist. All of those are Decemberist lyrics. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I was going to say they took that off of Spotify. Do you have it downloaded? I need it. They took it off Spotify, and I've been dying to hear Last Living Rose. Could I look it up on YouTube? Yes. Have I? No. Yes! That whole album, they took it off Spotify. Let England Shake, by the way, by PJ Harvey. It is an amazing fucking album. Ugh. I don't have any music anymore. Me neither. I don't know, but if I need to pay American Deliriums to download my very own permanent copy of that fucking PJ Harvey album, I will. That is how strongly I feel about this. It's PJ Harvey, Let England Shake. And it's like it is a concept album, but not just that. It's really, really good music, and it's like sparse but not sparse, and there's like videos that go with all of it, and it's like a whole style. But yes, if you've never heard any PJ Harvey, I understand it's not for everybody. She has an amazing voice. And the song that I don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of other songs people would recommend as an intro. My thought is Last Living Rose from the album Let England Shake. There's just, it's about World War One. Yes. Yes. And there's also some songs that are sad. But yeah. And I'm not a history person. I just like the music. Okay. So now our thumb is wearing the carrot as a hat. Oof. That is dark, dark, dark. And see, I think okay. What do we think? Just as like the first, and we're not talking about the blending quite yet because we'll make that look more even. But the question is, what do we kind of think about our color right now? And remember, the idea is dry, dusty carrot dirt because the gnome is an outdoor gnome. Or like a greenhouse, or like, not greenhouse, but farmlands? I don't know, I said it earlier, I can't think of the word. I think that is already giving more definition to our lines. And in a way, I don't know, I really kind of like the idea of it being like a dirty carrot. Because really, if a gnome had a carrot head, it's not like it would be sparkly clean or something. I like the idea of the whole carrot actually having like a distinctively, this came out of the ground and has never been washed look. Okay, now it just looks like it has stripes. But not stripes in a good way, but like stripes where there was color and stripes where there was no color. And that just looked weird. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think the answer is adding more color and then going from there. Because I just think it's totally reasonable that the carrot head would be dirty. And then if we feel there's spots where it's too dirty, we can get a clean brush and go over, because we are going to do that before, you know, we cure it or anything. But I don't know, I really like this look a lot. Okay, hang on, you're going to consult some art medicine. Sam says, the dirt is a nice touch. I agree. And Malone says, I dig your carrots. Lol, it's so good. Thank you. Sam says, Malone. Malone says, just looking to hide before bed. And Sam says, did you have a good birthday? He went to the Science Museum, so yes. And says, Sam, it was so fun. We went to the Science Museum. LOL. Right? But look, here's our little carrot with dirt on it. Oh. And hang on, I don't know if you seen it earlier, but Malone, my honey, I don't know if your beautiful wife is right there. But you, as a parent of a toddler, I gotta say that if I had asked earlier, like, it might have been possible that you had these in your house already. Goldfish! And yes, that is polymer. We made a goldfish at 100% scale, but it actually ended up being like 120, not like 120% scale. It's a little bit big. That's okay. And then there's a little bitty one. Ah! But seriously, the scale is a little bit off, but the shape, the face, the color. Juan says, yeah, that's a beefy fish. Yeah, it needs to be, like, the shape is correct. It just needs, like, on the copier, we need to be, like, reduced by 20%, please. Juan says, I did just think they were real, but you found a huge one. I think they make giant goldfish or XL goldfish or something. But no, this one is cured. Like this, it's totally pick-upable and touchable. And we totally made this on the stream tonight. Goldfish. And then this one has salt on it. This one we didn't put the salt on it yet because we didn't want to. It's not actually salt, it's sand. But we're going to strategically, like, remove some of the seed, but not all of it, and then and then seal it. Malone says, magnets people really will try to eat. For real. Like, look at that. And like Sina said earlier, she was like, I would totally, like, try to eat that. And it's like, I'm very, seriously, I really like our results. And I think once we can learn to scale it down, I think people would totally dig that. But yeah, they would be magnets and or pins. Because the people at the dispensary want to buy pins from me. And they're like, we want to buy your stuff. And I'm like, ah! And then I like flee the area. Loans as hair barrettes. Seriously, that's exactly what people were saying earlier. And oh, hang on, what are we doing? Ooh. Remember when we made